And now welcome from the last quiz, your latest loser, Mr. Sean Butler.
What?
What an intro.
Excuse me?
How's it going, Sean? You good?
I'm well, guys. I'm well. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. Obviously, pre-season ticking along nicely. Did you enjoy the game today?
I did. Yeah, I did enjoy the game. I thought it was a cracking game, actually. I thought Rangers were. There's a few players in the Rangers team that I was like, oh, hello. Don't mind you that much. I thought Tavernier was really good. I thought the guy Matondo, he skinned Sessegnon alive like 2 or 3 times in the first half. I thought Rangers put up a good show. I thought it was a weird game for us to analyse for Tottenham. I did think it was an interesting game, and I certainly enjoyed it. Yeah.
Do you think we deserved the victory? Were you impressed by what you saw, or were you more worried about maybe some frailties?
I think you could kind of, I guess in the first half, you can almost summarise the entire Tottenham performance by looking at someone like Kulusevski. And, you know, there was a lot of creativity, a lot of players coming deep. You know, Sonny came deep, Kane came deep, Kulusevski came deep. A lot of things were magical, like a lot of the ways that we were interacting in the midfield third. And even in our own half with the forwards coming back, it was very interesting to watch. And there was so many opportunities, but I think the decision making and the confidence of certain players in the final third was a worry. I think that there's nobody that has less faith in Kulusevski's right foot than Kulusevski. Like I think he's every time I've seen him have a crack with it, it's never been a poor shot. I don't know why he doesn't have more confidence in himself to go forward, and I do worry about how predictable that's going to be. I've said the same 1,000 times about Doherty on the left. I used to say the same thing a little bit about Sonny a couple of seasons ago when he was always looking to step in on the right. If you're a smart defender and you know that that's what they want to do, all you've got to do is show them half a yard on the inside and let them and push them or force them down the byline. And I think that with Kulusevski, he's a little bit, you know, a fantastic player, phenomenal player, absolutely adore him. But he gets in fantastic positions, and then, first of all, he slows down before he makes the choice, and then ultimately he cuts back inside. And I think most defenders that are worth their salt will figure that out. So he has to figure out how to get over his fear of trusting his right foot before we give away important opportunities or we fail to convert good opportunities.
I agree. There was a few times that him not shooting with his right foot cost us, and I think as well there was with Emerson a few times he had a couple opportunities to have a go, and he didn't. He decided to try and lay on for someone else, and then there was opportunities where he should have laid it on. He tried to have a go, and he kept choosing the wrong thing.
Shot when he shouldn't have shot, and didn't shoot when he should have shot.
Exactly. Your man, not your man, but the man you've done a lot of research on, Clement Longley. You got a first glimpse of him today, and anything you picked up on?
I thought he was okay. He didn't wow me. I liked his anticipation. There was a couple of moments in the second half when the ball dropped, when their left back crossed the ball in, and it fell to like 2 or 3 players that were all Tottenham, and no one was sort of willing to, you know, take charge of the situation, and he did. I thought that was pretty impressive. I thought his passing was good, and I thought the block that he put in. I heard James just say it as well. That, you know, that could have obviously been a horrible debut if the deflection went the other side of the post. But I didn't think he disappointed. I didn't think he had too much to do. I'm okay with it. It certainly wasn't a world-class debut, but it certainly wasn't a disappointing one either. I'm gonna, you know, the door's still open for my opinion to be improved on that one. I thought it was good, and I've got no issues with it. Where I do think we have worries for me, and I want to ask you a question on this, right? Is I was speaking on a couple of shows earlier. I think that Sessegnon for me had a chance today to stamp some authority in a situation where, you know, you're playing against Tavernier or Tavernier, however his name is, who I thought was also very good today. But and he didn't take it. I thought Sessegnon again. He's got some like fear of taking on the man, and there was plenty of times when he had the space behind him. He didn't take it on. I thought Sessegnon was a disappointment today, and you know, and I also look at the centre backs, right? And so where I'm leading with this is, and I want to actually ask you guys your guys' opinion on this, if you don't mind. If you think back to when we finished the January transfer window and Conte was criticised in the media or criticised by the community for having a flip-flop kind of weird, ambiguous message in the media. Initially, he said, we're weaker for only having signed 2 players. Then he clarified and said, we're stronger man for man, but we're weaker because of the numerical difference. And then there was basically consensus across the media that he wanted 6 players. And he wanted them before the before pre-season started. And he got that. Right, he got his 6 players. He got a goalkeeper. He got the right back, and not necessarily. I know that Spence wasn't necessarily his right back of choice, but basically all of the 6 positions that were touted about as being essential, they've been filled. But yet, I can't find a single Tottenham fan who thinks that they're entirely satisfied. And so I want to know whether or not, like, do you guys think that he sort of sell himself a little bit short, demanding only 6? Because like Levy has met his requirements. He signed 6. He got them basically done before the window was done. And I think that we are still well short of a centre back. Today was like unequivocally clear to me that we still need a better centre back. I still think that Sessegnon's not good enough as a backup left wing back. I'm still not sure about Emerson. I think that the fact that Doherty didn't play a minute suggests that he's probably on the way out. I think Jed Spence did okay. I think Perisic did okay, but. And then there's a lot of rumours that we still want another midfielder. So I'm wondering whether or not, like, is it unreasonable for Spurs fans to still want more? Does Conte still want more, even though he asked for what he wanted and got what he wanted? And on top of that, even if he does get more, is there an impact, a disruptive impact to having 9-10 new faces in a squad all in one summer?
I think that Conte's got to be very clever on the way how he beds in these players, for sure, because it could have some sort of impact in terms of like bedding in period. But in terms of what you're saying, that he wanted the players in before pre-season started, I don't think it's realistic to say to bring in all your business before pre-season starts. I think that he wanted the majority of the players that he wanted in before pre-season started, and I think that's exactly what he's got. And yes, I think that when you're looking at the shape of the squad at the moment, I'm very, very happy with the way things are. But I do agree. I think that first and foremost, we need another centre-back in this squad. That's the key for me. I think it would be nice to get another attacking midfielder, but I think what we really need is another centre back to come in, probably a central one to fight with Eric Dyer, because it's all rumour that Joe Rodon's on his way out. Doesn't seem like Conte fancies him anyway. So we need someone, and Jaffet. So we need someone to go against Dyer for that central role. I think Romero and Sanchez is probably all right on the right. And I think Lenglet and Davis is good on the left. So I think we need another one to play that central figure.
And you're happy with the wing backs, though? Yeah, because I thought Sessegnon today for me was.
I think time will tell. I think Sessegnon's still a very young player. Sessegnon's still a very young player coming through. I don't think there's anyone better to coach him than Antonio Conte, and I don't think there's anyone better for him to learn off than Ivan Perisic. So I've seen good things from Sessegnon in the past, and I'm not going to judge him just on one game in a pre-season friendly against France.
I don't think it was that bad.
And look, I don't think he was great today, but I think that he's got a lot of work to do, for sure.
8 out of 10 times that he gets the ball, he sends it back to where it came from. It annoys
me so
much.
But when he does get the opportunity to get to the byline and put a ball in, his crossing is usually pretty decent, I find. He does bring a good accuracy on it. I think the wing backs, I think Sessegnon was pretty good when he stepped in last season, late in the season. I think Perisic obviously a big upgrade. We know Reguilon's leaving. When it comes to the right-hand side, look, there's obviously going to be concern until we get to see how good Spence is going to acclimatise to this role. We know Emerson and Doherty, with all their faults, they both are on good form. You've got to give them credit for that. Emerson has been playing well recently, and Doherty, before his injury, was playing really well. So on that basis, when you're choosing between two of them and Spence, there should be enough options there to have all bases covered. Although in a perfect world, you probably want to sell Doherty and Emerson and get another right wing back. But, Rome was, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's tough to get everything done all in one window, like everything. So if we were to keep Doherty and Emerson and have Spence there as well, I think I'd be all right just for this season, and we could probably cope with that. When it comes to centre back, yeah, ideally we probably. The problem is, ideally we do want another centre back. I do have a feeling he sees Longley and well, first of all, Longley as a player who can cover the centre and the left. So maybe that could be used as an excuse to not dip right now, considering also we want to get Bastoni next summer. But I agree. I think we probably do need another centre back, and if we don't get one, then look, it's a risk. I have to agree with you. Doesn't mean that we're screwed, because let's be honest, the centre backs we had last season conceded 4 goals in the last, what was it, 7
we kept
goals.
our record amount of clean sheets in the season.
8 goals in 15 or something.
We kept
8 goals in 15, 16 clean sheets, and we improved that with Longley, and we've had more time with Conte. So logic states that's going to improve, I would hope. So I'm not too concerned. For me, I can understand maybe if you think we need more, but I think the business we've done, I'm very happy with. I'm definitely very happy with the squad we've got. And you got to remember, we won 10 of our last 14 games, so we already had a pretty decent core going into this summer, and we've just improved the depth and improved the quality. So for me, I'm happy. I am happy with how things have gone. But yeah, obviously, ideally, look, there are still 6 weeks left or whatever of the window, so I don't think we should. It'll be stupid to rule out any more signings. But I think as things have gone right so far, I am pretty happy with it. And for fans who aren't happy about it, how things have gone, it depends what they're unhappy about. Are they unhappy about the actual players you've brought in, or are they unhappy about the fact that we still have more business to do?
I think everyone wants more all the time, right? It's part of life.
Of course, I'm sure Conte wants more all the time.
Yeah, and like I'm with you guys. I love what we've done so far. I think it's been really special. However, I just feel like I think that it's like you're at that point now where how many new players is too many to disrupt the kind of chemistry, the synchronicity, the synergy that exists already. How many is too many? And yet you're kind of almost there. 6, 7 is probably, I can't remember a team bringing in 10 new players and then it working out in the first season, right? So there is a limit to how many new faces that you can bring in that are going to impact the first team without it being too much too soon. And yet I still worry that, for me, I think like Emerson today, I thought he got into good positions, but his decision making in the final third was poor. I'm not suggesting there's any need to worry about Kulusevski, but I still worry about that stuff, but that's a separate issue. For me, I think that the fact that Doherty didn't get a minute today tells me where he ranks in the priority list in Conte's mind. The fact that Lucas Moura got minutes, I thought Lucas Moura, for what it's worth, I thought he played better at right wing back than he did when he got shifted to left wing forward. I thought he had a better spell in that role, but I don't know. We've got 90 minutes of football left, competitive football left before we play against Southampton, and we're experimenting. And I still think we're still 2-3 signings short of me thinking that we had a perfect window. But I worry that having 2 or 3 more signings is maybe 1 or 2 too many in terms of new faces and getting that kind of
that's a fair concern, I think, because when we sold Bale and signed those 7 players, it didn't work out. And when Liverpool sold Suarez and signed all those players that summer, that also didn't work. And there is a reason to be concerned. However, I'm hoping that the way we're going about it is more we're looking for players to fit a profile of a structure which is already in place. When we did it with Bale, it was kind of like slapdash. We're just signing good players that we knew were good, but I don't think there was a plan in terms of where they're going to fit in the team, like what use they're going to be, all these different things. I think now under Conte, and the way we're going about the signings, it does seem to be a bit different. It's like he wants a certain profile of player and a certain type of player for each position, and I think that's what we're building towards. I think it's a bit different than how we we've dealt with a bit large amount of signings in the past. But no, I do think it's a fair concern.
Yep.
A lot of signings, it does take time to gel. But then again, we do have a strong core. Look at today, where the starting 11 was a similar starting 11 to what ended the season. I think that might be deliberate.
Yeah, but you've got to remember as well, those two teams that you're talking about in Liverpool and Spurs, when we sold Bale and they sold Suarez, we're not selling our talisman and our biggest player and who was central to everything. You know, Suarez was such a key figure in that team. Bale was such a key figure in our team.
A bit like selling Kane and having the summer we have now.
Exactly. The summer you're talking about is basically selling Kane and bringing in all these players that we've brought in. We haven't sold Kane, well, we've still got like a really strong core and all our best players are still here.
But I'm not arguing that we're losing somebody that's massive. I'm arguing for the fact that there's a chemistry, the synergy, like having too many new faces that come from different teams. How long is it going to take for them to embed, to learn the system, to get to know each other, to become friends? And Bale or Kane leaving is not relevant. Is not a necessary factor for that still to be an issue.
It kind of is, because when Gareth Bale left and when Luis Suarez left, you're taking literally the best player out of that team and you're forcing other players to come in straight away and to hit the ground running. We've got our core there. We could start the season with what we ended off last season and still start the season really strongly. You know, we're not relying on these players to come in straight away. We can bed them in. I think we've got that luxury.
So on that basis, then, so you're happy with Sessegnon? Because I think that
Perisic won't need to bed in. He shouldn't.
You don't have to bed in all of them. Like one or two can start from the off. But I think as a whole, you know, with the 6 players that we've brought in, you have to bed in some of them.
Probably will, right? So Ben Davies is not going to be fit for, as far as I've heard, for Southampton. Longley, whilst he was a brilliant player playing in a back 3 before Barcelona, he's been playing in a back 2 or back 4, whatever you want to call it, right? So he hasn't had very many hours or minutes to kind of not only learn the other players' styles, but to play minutes back into a back 3 situation. That's going to be fairly
problem is Davis is injured. Yeah,
I know, exactly, right? And I think that, you know, Jed Spence, I thought he did really well today, but we only saw him for 20 minutes and he had one moment that was impactful, and he took his moment and handled it very well. Didn't get a chance to see him going forward. The person that we have seen going forward, Emerson, you know, I'm a defender of Emerson. Like I think I like the guy. I like him as a person. I like him as a member of the squad. But he isn't someone that excites me on the right. And I think Sessegnon today, you guys maybe have a different opinion to me. I thought Sessegnon was so disruptive to forward-flowing football on the left-hand side. He slows it down. He pulls it back. It annoys me. I just feel like my point is that if I think there's still so many areas for improvement that we need. Not so many, but 2 or 3 areas of improvement. And I'm worried that if we even if we go and find those areas for improvement, that having 9 new members in the dressing room, that's half the dressing room, or 40% of the dressing room is brand new, and there is an unknown variable on how that will turn out. I don't know what I'd rather. Would I rather fill the gaps and hope for the best with the kind of continuity and the getting to know each other and the learnings, or would I rather sit on what we have and think that it's good enough and then maybe try and fill a gap in January? And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you guys have reassured me, if I'm honest.
Sorry about that, Sean. No, but I think that only time will tell in this situation, and we'll just have to see how the beginning stages of the season going. But I've been asking the question to a lot of people if they think that we've signed too many players all at once, but I don't think we have, because I genuinely believe that the core of the squad are there already, and I think players like Richarlison seem to be fitting in already quite nicely. Players like Perisic is going to be like an older head in the squad that a lot of players can learn off, and then you're talking about bedding in players like Lenglet and Bissouma. So I don't think it's too bad.
Was good today. I thought Bissouma was good. Richarlison, I thought was. I mean, he didn't have too much. I thought he was okay. He still doesn't strike me as a £60 million player.
Get on the train, man. Get on the train.
I had one foot on it. I had one foot on it after the the last time I came onto the show. I had one foot on the train, but I'm not sure I want to jump on board it just yet.
You'll definitely jump on when he scores the winner in his debut against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That's for sure.
100%. If it doesn't happen, though, I'm coming back on with, and I told you, no, I'm not. I'm really good.
But Sean, just before we let you go, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Spurs Talk Show, guys. Yeah, all one word, Spurs Talk Show. It's another channel. We do, all the same stuff that you guys do, really.
Apart from losing quizzes.
Apart from losing quizzes, we haven't lost anything yet. We are level pegging in a 3-part series. We haven't lost anything yet.
You lose your own aggregate.
No. We have one more game. The decider's happening this week, apparently, from what I hear.
All right, bring it on.
And you see, look at this from James Spurs related. Well, not that one. He says quiz loser. That's all he has to say.
Well, now I know why. You've got the host on, and he's part of the conspiracy here. Is that right?
Big up, Sean. Thanks for coming on today, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon. Take care.
See you, Sean.